Should I wait until next year to buy the property or just go for it and buy one right now? It's the biggest question I've been hearing lately. And honestly, I get why people get so stuck on this decision. Property prices are moving, headlines are loud, and everyone's got a different opinion when it comes to property. I've helped hundreds of Aussies answer that exact question. And I've made those calls myself multiple times in the course of building my 150 plus property portfolio. So in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what's happening in the real estate market and help you figure out whether it makes more sense to buy right now or wait until later on. What's going on in the property market? What most people get wrong is they assume the property market is flat and nothing is really happening at all until interest rates start dropping. The current market is like watching the tide come in. At first, it looks like nothing's changing, a small rise here, a gentle wave there. But if you keep watching, you'll notice that the water has quietly crept meters forward. And before you know it, the beach you're standing on is completely underwater. That's exactly what's happening right now in the Australian property market. Dwelling values rose 0.05% in May of 2025 alone. National prices are up 1.7% year to date and 3.3% annually. Modest, but very consistent. Every capital city rose by at least 0.4% in May alone of 2025. And the national median house price sits just over $831,000, just below record highs. So even though right now the property market doesn't feel fast, the tide is rising. And it's not just prices, activity is picking up again as well. Mortgage pre-approvals are up over 30%, which is a big statistic. And auction clearance rates are hovering around 71%. Back to levels we haven't seen since early 2022. And on the wider outlook, different polls of data suggest that 4 to 5% annual price growth through to 2027 is about to start happening. The cost of buying now versus waiting. What most people get wrong is they think that waiting is a smart strategy, that if they hold off until interest rates start falling, they might be able to get a better deal on a property. But let's walk through what actually happens if you wait. Here's an example. So let's say you wait until mid-2026 or even 2027. You've heard that rates are about to drop to around 3 to 3.5%, and you're hoping that that'll make things more affordable to get in the property market. And the property you're eyeing today is hypothetically worth $830,000. The national forecast for next year, too, is about 4 to 5% annual growth on that property. This basically means by the time 2026 rolls around next year, the same property you could be looking at would cost you $865,000 to $875,000, which means you might have saved a tiny fraction of interest, but basically you've ended up paying $40,000 more to get into the market, the exact same property. Now layer that in with what you've missed on that as well. You missed 2 years of rental income from owning that property, 2 years of equity growth, and then 2 years of progress towards your next property. Like you could have used that equity you've made to buy another one already, as opposed to waiting just for one. Meanwhile, someone who bought today could have refinanced most likely by then, leveraged the equity and the growth in that property to buy the next property. So they're literally lapping you just because they're taking action quicker. Because here's the thing, the market does not wait for anybody. It won't wait for you. It's going to move and keep going with or without you or without me as well. And in most cases, the longer you delay, the more expensive the entry becomes into the property market. Stop trying to time the bottom of the market. Most people miss it completely anyway and have no idea. Focus instead on time and being in the market, because that's what builds real wealth in property. So if the smart move is to get in the property sooner rather than later, the next question is, where do you buy and where do you get in? Because not every city is worth your money. And by choosing the wrong city or location to buy in, this can set you back a great, massive deal. So that's why in this next video, I'm going to break down the 5 best locations to buy in 2025 and 2026 based on real growth information, rental demand, and where I'm helping clients and I'm buying personally myself right now. Definitely go watch that video right away.